Hello, everyone. Welcome to the first episode of UEC Talks. My name is Somyya Shahzad, and I will be your host. UEC Talks is a monthly podcast brought to you by the Undergraduate Economics Council Club from UTM. We wanted to create a fun and safe place to discuss life as a university student studying economics. Every month, I will be joined by different guests ranging from students to professors and TAs to talk about their experience, current economic events, and everything in between. A little bit about myself as your host. I am a third-year student studying economics in the specialist program, Economics and Political Science, with a minor in statistics. I am also an associate at the Internal Department of UEC. Joining me today are three important people from the UEC Club. Let's have some introductions, shall we? Carol, take it away.
Yes, hi. Thank you. So my name is Kirill. I am the president of the Undergraduate Economics Council for this academic year. And I'm in my fourth year at UTM, and I'm studying financial economics and statistics.
Yes, my name is Devereaux. I am the senior advisor for the Undergraduate Economics Council. I was the president last year. And I'm in my fifth year doing economics and political science.
My name is Miriam Fakri. I am the UEC co-president for this upcoming year. I'm a fourth year student studying management at UTM.
Perfect. So I wanted to ask you guys about this upcoming academic year. As the leading team of UEC, what events are you guys looking forward to?
I personally I'm very looking forward to our case competition that's going to be happening this year. I believe it's going to be a huge case competition, given that everyone's going to be coming back to campus, and we probably will be able to hold it in person.
Can you tell us the name of the specific case competition?
Not yet.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I'll have to echo what Carol says. It's always our biggest event of the year. If it was in person, the last one, when I was VP External, we planned it with Amazon Web Services. We had a massive venue planned in downtown Toronto, fully catered at Amazon's Canada headquarters, and then COVID canceled all of it. Last year, we were supposed to have a big celebration in the economics building and invite a lot of high flying guests. COVID happened, we didn't get to do any of that. This year, we have vaccines. So let's hope we can do another big ticket event and actually have it in person. So I'm excited to see what the future holds. And I'm more hesitant because of the restrictions, but I'm very hopeful.
Same for me, actually, because I remember like the event that I enjoyed the most in my first year of the UEC was the case competition, because it was held in person also downtown. And like the team, it was like I met the team and I got to know everyone. So I'm actually very excited for that one. Yeah.
That's interesting, because the one event I really enjoyed attending from UEC was always the introductions with the profs, the mix and mingle, the networking type events, just because I was definitely a shy first year student and I never knew how to talk to my professor. So it just allowed us to have like a calm, relaxed place where we can just talk and ask any type of question we wanted to. And even though we did the last one online, we played games with them, like Where's Waldo, things I never thought I'd be doing with my professors, but it was still fun. And yeah, I'm excited to see what the UEC will do this year. So you guys are on the exec team of UEC, which is a huge club at our campus. What steps did you take to reach your current position?
Well, for me, it was a full-on career ladder. So I joined UEC when I was in my second year. I joined as an associate. Who comes first? Associates, right? Yeah. So I joined as an associate and I was in external team under Devereaux's management, by the way. Yes, and then in my third year I joined as a VP internal. Yes, and here I am in my last year, and it's my third year at the UEC, and I am the president for this academic year?
Yeah, so as Carol touched upon this, but I hired him. So I started in my second year. This was 2018, 2019, the 2018, 2019 academic year. I was initially hired as a marketing associate, but then our marketing VP just quit out of the blue. So then I was voluntold to run marketing for a year. So I did that. And then after that, I moved to external in my third year. And then from there, we had the case competition with Amazon, and that's where I actually hired Carol. In my first position as VP marketing, that's where I actually hired Miriam as a marketing associate, and she was a remarkable associate. And then after, VP marketing and then external, I then moved on to become the president because of my two positions. And now that I'm in a fifth year, an unexpected fifth year due to COVID, I'm just senior advisor, so I'm just helping everyone plan because we're still in a very tumultuous year. But yeah, last year, the entire executive team, the VP internal, external, marketing, academics, was all hired by me as an associate, and everyone just rose up the ranks. That's what we really love to see. That's what we really want at the UEC. You want to start them off in their first or second year and then just train them to know everything so they can hopefully become president.
For me, this is my fourth year with the UEC. I started since my first year at UTM. I applied to be a marketing associate, and I remember Dev interviewed me at that time. And it was my first ever formal kind of interview, and I really enjoyed it. I was an associate for the first year, then became the academics VP for the next 2 years, and then for this last year, the co-president. And I remember telling Kirill about UEC and getting him to apply.
Oh my God, I just actually remembered that in the first time when I was applying to UEC as an associate, I first applied with Mariam, and then Dev also told me that I should apply with him. And so yeah, I don't remember how we ended up resolving this situation.
Yeah, it was like a big thing. Like Dev was like, I want Kirill on my team. I was like, okay, I guess if you really want to. Yeah, I remember. We both really wanted you though.
Well, look at us now, 3 years later,
I actually love that. Carol has a lot of demand.
What's the question again?
I wanted to ask, since you guys spent so many years working for UEC, what is one thing that you've learned?
Good question. I guess learning and working in a team and communicating properly and being accountable, because you can work in a team, in classes, you can communicate properly in classes as well with your team. But here's accountability. I feel like it's very important because in the end of the day, it's a club that's run by students, and generally speaking, in theory, you can do nothing. But you see, that's where accountability, comes in handy.
Yeah, and I think I have to echo a little bit of what Carol says when it comes to working with people and accountability, because the UEC, we receive our funding directly from the Department of Economics. We do everything we do, we have to run it by them because we represent them. So accountability, and one thing that the UEC really taught me how to do was how to actually understand the nuances of professional communication. Even right now at RBC and working with teams and working with senior leadership, I'm talking senior vice presidents and managing directors who manage hundreds and millions, sometimes hundreds of billions of dollars. You have to communicate with them in an effective way. You need to value their time. You need to ask the right questions. And I learned how to do all of that by networking with the Department of Economics, with the department chair and the administrators and stuff. So that's one thing that I really learned from the UEC.
Yeah, same here. Communication, knowing how, who to approach and how to approach them, because you need to approach people differently. And accountability. UEC experience has been really different, and I love it. And I think my university career wouldn't have been the same without UEC.
You also make a lot of friends.
Yeah, you meet a lot of people, you make a lot of friends, and you're just involved. You don't feel like you go to school and you come home.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's definitely important, online, because a lot of these new students don't know how to talk to their friends in their classes. But now if they're all in UEC, then one thing that they have in common is definitely their economics classes. So that's an
Oh,
instant friend right there.
yeah, and then it's also like instant like support as well, right? Like, right, I'm a TA for Echo 302, and I think like 4 or 5 people in the UEC are actually like taking Echo 302 as well. I did nudge them to actually take the class. But some of the people in the UEC are, TAs for Echo 100 or 200, other classes. So it's a big support system. And you don't need to be a part of the UEC to like access our resources and stuff. You just need to ask us and you'll get access to it.
Definitely. And I mentioned earlier that we had a mentorship program in UEC. So having first year students who can talk to an upper year student and ask for like direct help, especially like from personal experience. I think that's like a huge part because personally, I wanted to sign up for the Eco 400 course, and I was like, I have to wait till 4th year, and Deb was like, no, you don't. I know this happened like last year, and I was like, okay, well, it's too late now. But I think that if another first year student can hear that, like, hey, like, you can find a lot of like tricks just from like talking to upper year students, and especially for like how to pass your classes. Yeah. So, aside from UEC, what goals do you guys have, personal or academic, for this academic year?
Well, it's my last year, so my biggest goal, I guess, is to graduate and finish strong, because there is still a lot that has to be done in this last year. So I would say my biggest goal for this academic year right now is to stay consistent in what I'm doing and to actually keep doing it up until the point I'm graduating.
Can you elaborate on what you're being consistent on?
Just means that so I'm holding a few positions. I'm a student, I'm a president, and I also have a job. And well, I truly believe that the only way for me to succeed in all of them is to stay consistent, is to come back to all these positions every day and reflect on them, what I've done and what needs to be done. So consistency in this is very important.
Yeah, and then I have to say for my goal is to get into grad school and to not go insane because I will be doing a full-time co-op and a full course load. So let's see if grad school will accept me this year. And yeah, it's just like over the past 4 years, balancing UEC and coursework has proven to really improve your my time management skills. And now it's being put to the ultimate test because it's just twice as much as I'm usually used to putting on my table. So those are my goals.
For mine, I just want to graduate. Like I mean, like basically, I want to graduate and I'll start looking at like potential grad schools and like planning and kind of things because like you need to like see what schools you would fit into and and make the most out of the last year, hoping it's going to be in person since I missed the last 2.
So you guys have definitely mentioned that you need the skill of time management. From your past years, how did you improve that skill? Because everyone kind of just says, oh yeah, I have great time management skill, but I don't think they actually have it. So what did you guys do to improve it?
Oh, I have a good life hack. So on Google, if you go to Google Sheets, like the version of Excel, get a to-do list and put all your assignments on there, and then organize them and then just color code it by class, and then after put down what date they're due, and then after you can organize it chronologically so it has all the assignments that are due soon, and then it just goes down the list, and then you have like a checklist, and then you can, if you do it right, you can program it so that way it can send you emails to say, okay, you need to start this assignment because it's due in 2 weeks or due in a week. So that definitely helps. Another thing is to always just go to office hours and to always do things immediately. If it can take 5 minutes to do it immediately. Because if you just keep on prolonging, 20 or 30 of these 5-minute tasks, eventually you're going to have 3 or 4 days where you're absolutely just mentally exhausted thinking about the things you need to do, and then you're going to be physically exhausted because you have to do 50 things that like were all tiny, but now they're huge. So those are 2 small like tricks I use.
I think that last one was definitely a call out for me because I have like all these little tasks I need to do, and it's just I don't know, sometimes you just have to build yourself, like force yourself to do it, and that can just be like so challenging, especially if you have like a lot of time to get it done. So yeah, thank you for calling me out, Deb.
For me, it's just like that. So I really like to have a schedule somewhere not in my mind, because if there is a plan in my mind, then it's likely that I'll forget about it. Just so what I do is that I have Google Calendar, very useful thing. All the classes, all the assignments, and any other events, that I need to attend, they just go straight in there. And well, if I don't have something in my Google Calendar, then I don't have it on my agenda, because once again, I don't trust my memory anymore.
Yeah, so key is like planning beforehand and making sure that all of your deadline are in order. But regarding keeping up with the UEC deadlines and meeting UEC workload, what I love about UEC is the teamwork. You never find yourself working on one thing and then you're held back, because there's always a team that will support you. And whenever you need like a hand, there's always somebody that will like come in and assist you and take off some of the load off of you. So yeah, teamwork and like knowing how to work within a team is essential for time management.
I really love that. So like, okay, go on.
Well, I see everyone's using Notion to manage like the tools of Notion to manage their timelines and tasks. So.
You know what? I've heard about it, and every day I tell myself I will make my schedule today, but then I don't do it. So I will do that tonight now.
It's never too late, like as long as you start at one point, it's never too late.
Also, the semester hasn't even started. I'm allowed to go a little easier on myself.
Yeah, you still have a lot of time.
Okay, so you guys are in your 4th year, or for Deb, 5th year. Why did you choose economics as your program, and how did you stick through it?
I actually chose in the beginning, I chose commerce, but then I decided to switch it to financial economics later on why did I choose commerce in the first place? Is because I did not do enough research before I came to the university. So what's important here is do your research before coming to the university. I mean, that's very important in my opinion. And so yes, in the 2nd year, I decided to change my program to economics, because out of all the courses that I took in the 1st year, I really enjoyed economics. And then during the summer, I decided to take 2nd year courses in economics. And well, by the end of the summer, I figured that, well, I'm doing well in those courses, and I also really enjoy the content. So why not to go into economics? That's how I ended up here.
Did you regret not thoroughly doing your research?
Oh, well, yes, because I took a lot of absolutely useless classes in the 1st year. If I wouldn't take those classes in the 1st year, right now I could take more economics courses that would be more relevant to my degree.
So do your research, guys. Yeah, go on, Deb.
Yeah, I took so many stupid classes in my 2nd year, and now that like I see classes I want to do, they have no space in it. But anyway, so as to why I chose economics, well, the reason why I didn't do business was because when you apply to business school, even as an undergraduate, it prepares you to be a business person. But the thing is, a lot of the problems that businesses are facing doesn't require the mindset of a business person. It requires something more nuanced, more interdisciplinary, more economics based, right? A little bit more based in theory, society, government, politics, all these, sometimes even history. And like even at RBC, some of my coworkers, or my fellow interns rather, they were all business students. And when it came to solving certain problems, we all had to do an internal case competition. I noticed all the business students propose like a very business application to a problem that we were having at the bank, which is very social. And then you could tell who was a business student and who wasn't a business student based off of just their answer or the proposed solution to the project, to the problem at hand. And the senior management could tell who who was a business student or not. So that's why I kind of chose economics, because it's very interdisciplinary. Economists are known for being very rational. Econ students are known for having a plethora of skills. And with the UEC, you develop and refine those skills, and you become just an amazing, not just an employer, but a great critical thinker. because you think about these problems in a very nuanced manner, which is kind of what businesses and what enterprises and what we as individuals need. So that's kind of why I chose economics and political science.
That's actually, like, I've never heard that response before. I've heard, like, I didn't get into the business program, but I've never heard like that type of response. And I think that's a really great way of thinking about it. Makes me feel better about it.
Yeah, and for any first year listening to this, keep your horizons open. And you have two majors. I would always emphasize two majors over a specialist, because honest to God, no employer cares about what your major or your specialist is, unless you're in highly specific fields like accounting or engineering or financial analytics. It literally doesn't matter. So if you do commerce and women's studies, okay, that works once you're good at what you do and you're not like dumb and you know how to talk and you know how to network and stuff, right? So I would tell any first year, do two majors. No, employers don't care about the difference between a major, specialist, or minor, or bachelor's of sciences or bachelor's of business administrations or art. 90%, 98% of the time they don't care. So keep an open mind and have broad horizons.
I love that advice. Thank you.
Well, I didn't do economics. I'm like when I found out about economics, it was too late for me to switch to it. But I'm glad UEC is here to like tell our first years what economics, because I really didn't understand and I didn't know what you could do with it. I didn't know like the career opportunities that comes with it. So I just thought it was like a no for me. And then when I told you, when I discovered it was too late. So yeah, I liked it. I liked the first year course I took in economics, and I think it's a really nice topic. And yeah, so I didn't take economics, so I don't know.
Okay, but I know for a fact that around third year, everyone starts questioning their major. So what made you stick through it? What gave you the motivation to finish your degree?
Dedication, I guess. I had a few concerns in my third year as well, because at one point I was thinking, well, okay, yes, I learned all those skills, and well, now I have to apply them. And well, yes, I saw how people apply them. Yeah, I saw how they can be applied in my classes, but right now, off the top of my head, I cannot figure out how I could apply them in real life. So yeah, I believe there will be this, I don't know, yeah, I can call it a learning curve, where you have to learn what you're gonna do with your degree. But yeah, I guess dedication is very important, because just believe in yourself.
Yeah, for me it was second year. I'll tell this to any first year. Second year is harder than first year, because first year you just deal with what, maybe MGT 101 or 102. I don't know what the course code is, and now Echo 100, and then math. Those courses are difficult, but depending on what your educational background is, you probably saw a lot of that content already. But second year, that's when they get you, at least for economics courses, because you have advanced micro, macro, and econometrics. So second year, it was just pure perseverance. Didn't do good in second year, but persevered. And then in third year, found my passion, which is more economic history and economic history research. And from there, my third and fourth years have been basically entirely what I like doing, what I like studying, more political economy, economic history. So in terms of how to actually get through it, it is a lot of perseverance, but it's also a lot of networking. You need to know your professors, and to just explore all the different avenues that are available within your degree. So for example, if you like management, or if you're a management student, explore the different fields in management, different courses or opportunities. In political science, see if you like more the IR, international relations, or diplomacy or whatever. In economics, there's literally like health economics, environmental economics, economic history, political economy, all these different things. So just and you can only really get that by networking. So start networking early, so that way in your second and third year, you actually have like a good direction for where you want to go academically. And once you like what you do, then everything else kind of falls in place.
For me, I believe that if you are not sure about what you're studying, or if you get the thoughts that you want to change it, that means you don't like what you're doing, and you should. Because when you like something, you never have like second doubts about it. And I really enjoy what I'm doing. I've been enjoying what I like the courses I take since I started. So I never really thought of switching up, or I never thought of like changing anything. So that's one thing.
So you just didn't have any doubts about it or like where your
No,
future?
because it was either commerce, like accounting, or management for me, and I don't enjoy like accounting. Like in my first year, because you take an accounting course, you take a management course, and I felt like I liked management more and I enjoyed it, especially like I feel like it fits into like my future goals better than other programs.
So you definitely needed to know like what you're more into than
Yeah,
explore.
it's just finding out what you're into, and then once you're on that path, then you know where to be and what to choose.
Okay. We are getting closer to our end time, but I wanted to ask one more question just to like end off on a happier note. Do you guys have any funny stories from your time, either at UEC or any course that you took? Just something that you look back onto and you're like, wow, that was a great moment that made this worth it. Come on, guys, don't make this degree boring.
I remember Kirill in his first year, because we were first years together, and I've met Kirill before, but how Kirill was very known in our in that year is that he got 11 out of 10 on one of Bailey's exams, and he became the popular guy that received 11 out of 10 on Bailey's exams, and that's how everyone knew Kirill. So
Yeah,
everywhere I go, I was like, that's the guy. I'm like, that's the guy that got 11 out of 10, and he just Kirill was just, yeah.
yeah, because at that time, people were saying that it's impossible to get 10, like even 10 out of 10 for Bailey's, and then, but people knew that there is a tail, that you can get more than 100% on Bailey's test.
Yeah.
And so, yes, somehow, I don't know if it was luck, but yes, somehow I managed to get 11 out of 10, and I was very proud. I was very proud about this, and even for my first case competition, I called my team 11 out of 10 because, well, for the exact that reason. But I came up with another reason to to make it more meaningful than just a mark that I got on a random test.
Yeah, so I have one funny story. So this is also Echo 100 related. So I remember back in high school, I got the second highest econ grade. And then so I was riding high coming to UTM. I'm like, oh yeah, whatever. I already know economics. It's going to be a breeze. I'm not even going to study for the first test. I'll just review my lecture notes, whatever. And then so I go into the first test. I do it. I'm like, wow, that was so easy. The next week we get the test back, and I get the page, and then I look at the front, I look at the back, and there's no markings, there's no X's, there's no check marks, there's nothing. So I go to Professor Bailey and I'm like, hi, it's me. I got my test back and there's nothing on the front or the back. So I tell him, okay, it's test B. And he's like, okay, I'll take a look at it. And then so he takes a look at the front and he looks at the back and he's like, yeah, you didn't get a single question right. And it was at that moment I knew I had to change my mindset, and I knew I screwed up. And then so every single day you were catching me in the Echo Aid room studying, asking for help, being friends with all the PAs. And yeah, my last semester GPA was 4.0. So you know what? It's just a matter of growth and just learning quickly. But I'm going to tie in a little lesson to this. It's if you're going to fail quickly, because the longer you prolong your failure, the more painful it's going to be. So if you know you're going to fail, just quickly do it and then just move on quickly. But yeah, that's a funny story.
Yeah.
I love how we have like a spectrum of the Bailey students on both ends, extremes, both extremes. We got 110% and a 0%. I love that.
I mean, I wouldn't know, because I didn't take it with Bailey, but I would hear a lot about Bailey's class. So it was a thing,
I did Eco 200 with Bailey, and because I did it with Ian Dog first year, and I was like, what is this drama? And then I learned. I was humbled, just like Dev.
I love Bailey.
Bailey's great.
I think it gets easier after the Eco 100. I feel like once you pass the Eco 100, you become one of his.
I would say Eco 200.
There's a steep learning curve.
Very.
He prepares you for upper years. Like If it wasn't for
Yeah.
him, I'd be a much tougher student. Like he's
Like not doing Eco 100 with him will make it harder for students who take like further econ courses.
I can see that.
Let me just add a little bit. So we've been talking about Bailey for the last 5 minutes. So hopefully, if the first years are watching it, they will understand that if they hear something about Bailey, don't be scared. He is a great professor, and yes, don't be afraid to take him.
Yeah.
In your first year.
And don't be afraid to talk to him. He loves urban planning and stuff. So like, just talk to your professors. They're just humans. Go to their office hours. They just like ask about them personally, what their research is, where they went to school, why they like teaching, that type of stuff. They're very smart and they're all very, very kind.
Yeah.
I think there's
People
a sign of
scare everyone at the beginning, but like all professors are approachable when you really want to talk to them, and they'll all help at the end of the day. Except a couple. I wouldn't want to name, but
yeah, let's not name them. You find out by yourself. That way, when I ask you later in the future who scared you the most, you'll have an answer. Okay, I'm gonna make a mental note that Bailey should probably come on this podcast next because everyone has a lot of stories about him. And I think he'd be a great guest because
I think so too.
I know I have to wrap up, but I'm just gonna say, like, I joined an econ panelist like in my first year, and he was there, and I remember he was so nice. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna take this guy's class, and then I checked Acorn, and his class was 8 a.m. on a Monday, and I was like, never mind, but I did also watch how the attendance of his class went down like through the year. It was quite amusing too. Okay, but yeah, I'll definitely talk to Bailey next time. And this was a great discussion, but our time has come to an end. And firstly, I'd like to thank the UEC team for joining me today. I hope you guys had as much fun as I did recording this. I would also like to thank the audience that stuck through, and I hope you guys learned something. So make sure to follow the UEC Instagram and stay updated with upcoming events. And see you guys next month.
Thank you so much. This was amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you.